Welcome back. We can now bring you exclusive details of a written interview that the parents of Aarushi Talwar, who was brutally murdered a few years ago, have had with my colleague Sunetra Choudhury. What exactly do they have to say? Remember, they've been in jail for a couple of years now. Joining us for more on that is NDTV Sunetra Choudhury. Sunetra, bring us the details.
As we know, Rajesh and Nupur Talwar, who've both been convicted for the murder of their teenage daughter in 2013 October, have been in Dasna jail since that time. And since their conviction, no interviews have come out of there, of course, because there are bars on the kind of access that they have. But NDTV has been in touch with their family, has through letters been in touch with Rajesh and Nupur Talwar. Remember the fact that a recent book was written on them, on the case, and on Friday a movie by Vishal Bhardwaj called Talwar will be released, which has been directed by Meghna Gulzar. And so the focus yet again on the case. And using that as a news peg, we exchanged letters, as I said, with the Talwars. And what's interesting is what came out of this interview. The first thing that we of course asked them was what they felt about this film. They told me through the communication that they had seen trailers of the film and they were interested by what it portrayed. They seemed to be very comfortable with the book that had come out. Penguin had published a book and they were very comfortable with that book because they felt that the book had highlighted all the issues that they were concerned with. Their main concern was that 2 years later, 2 years down the line, the Talwars, Rajesh and Nupur Talwar, felt very concerned about the fact that they hadn't got justice. And they feel that anything, whether it's a book or a film, that conveys their point of view sympathetically, that there are still loose ends, that they were happy with. So what they told me in that written interview, that the movie hasn't focused on CBI's malified action. They said that from the trailer, they could make out that the film presented both sides. The first CBI team, which said that one of the men who worked in their homes could have been responsible, the ones who were there, Rajkumar, and their roles were important. The movie had looked at that and also looked at the second CBI team as well. But they said that the fact that the CBI team, they allege, of course, that lots of bungling had been done, the fact that a crucial DNA evidence on the pillow had been swapped and typographical errors, which CBI said was a typographical error, they felt that it directly connected Hemraj to the scene of crime. They felt that CBI's action had been completely malified, and they said that the movie doesn't seem to focus too much on that, and they felt that needed really to be done. So that's one of the aspects that they talked about, and they were also very upset that the media had moved on from the story. They felt that their case was one which, if nothing else, if they said that they were convicted, but if nothing else, there was a character assassination of their daughter Aarushi by what the Noida police had said. And they said that they were going to continue fighting till there was vindication and justice for their 14-year-old daughter who'd been murdered while they were sleeping in the next door room. So that's what they said. One of their quotes is, "We will continue to fight for Aarushi. We can deal with our time in jail. What we can't deal with are the lies about Aarushi." It's something that they kept saying during the course of the interview, that they can't go on with it. And it seems to me, from what they've said in the interview, it seems very clear that they are now using that as a motivation to live on, as something to really pass the time by. They also question the silence of the media and the silence of public in general. They say, why hasn't anyone taken a stand in this case? In fact, they also point out that in any other country across the world, that if a child's privacy, if a child had been maligned in the way they feel that Aarushi has been maligned, then they are sure that some media watchdog would have taken it up. They feel bad that in India that hasn't done. A child's character, as they said, has been assassinated while everyone kept quiet. These are some of the things that we are hearing the Talwars say for the very first time since their conviction, since their incarceration. They also say, they claim we have a lot of influence. Who have we influenced? This is one quote where they're referring to the appeal that is pending in the Allahabad High Court. Remember, they appealed 3 months after they were convicted, and since then, it hasn't been slotted at all. They also said that at the moment in Allahabad High Court, cases which go back to 1980, 1986, those are going on. So they also indicated that very soon they were going to put in more applications. However, they said they didn't have any influence. They didn't have that much hope that it was going to be fast-tracked. Perhaps they're hoping that the film, the book which was sympathetic to them, might be able to help them as well. They also said, surprisingly, one of the questions that I wrote to them was, did they still have any friends, and who were the people who came to see them? And they pointed out that some of their friends had stuck by them, but they also pointed out one of the interesting things is that patients who were looking after them, who they were tending to, their patients came to see them. One of the interesting things they said was that author Patrick French had also visited them, and he was one of the people who pointed out that if the kind of media coverage that had been seen here had been done in the UK, then media houses would have definitely been shut down. What's also interesting is that the Talwars, at the moment, according to jail manual, they get about 40 rupees per day for looking after the jail clinic. And Rajesh Talwar sees about 25 patients every day. Nupur Talwar sees female patients, so she holds the clinic twice or thrice a week. So that's what the life is like for the Talwars in jail. Back to you.